Hey, Dina here. Remember when I reacted to the Silent Hill announcements last year and was totally confused by Silent Hill Ascension?
Is it a game? I mean, I guess it's
I'm so excited
game,
about this
but
new
the way he
world of
describes it
Silent
is
Hill.
so confusing.
Here are some
Unique interactive storytelling.
They're using so many
experience
words to
where
say
the
so
decisions
little.
you
I have
make
no
affect
idea
the
what the fuck
characters
this is
and
they're
the world.
talking about.
The fun only gets better.
Whatever.
And a lot of people in the chat were similarly confused.
Oh yeah, the interactive Silent Hill game thing. I don't know what this is. Yeah.
Well, I sure do know what it is now, for better or for worse. Silent Hill Ascension was meant to be this online experience where everyone in the world can experience a Silent Hill game / story at the same time and all talk about it in the chat as they make decisions that affect what happens. Putting aside that Silent Hill is supposed to be a solitary experience, I can see how that's not necessarily a bad idea, you know, on paper. It's like watching a stream, but a little more interactive. Supposedly it was inspired by gamers streaming Silent Hill games and people in the chat conversing and reacting to it, helping them make decisions on what to do next, etc. That whole communal aspect. And just look at how they thought the chat would go. Wow, they're so invested. Look how into the story they are. Yeah, it didn't go that way. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. Let's talk about what Ascension actually is. It's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure. Basically, you can make an account on the website, and every night, the time depends on where you are. I'm Pacific Standard, so it's 6 p.m. for me. You watch vignettes play out, pre-rendered FMVs essentially, that reveal part of a story, and each one ends with a choice a character has to make. Essentially, everyone votes on what a character ends up doing. In the technical sense, it controls which of the already made FMVs will be shown in the future. The stories themselves are fine, not anything groundbreaking, but pretty solid, and I'll admit I was invested for a while. The first story involves a cult that may or may not be related to the Silent Hill cult. It's in Pennsylvania, but Silent Hill-esque monsters are involved, so could be that it's related, but we don't know yet. One of the cult members, Rachel, did a ritual that resulted in a woman's death. Rachel also has a husband and daughter to worry about. At one point they have to go into hiding.
I want you to perform the ritual on me. Yeah, we don't agree on much, but maybe that's what we need. Sometimes a little friction can be a good thing.
That's what she said!
The second story is linked to the first and involves Toby, the brother of the victim, who wants to find out what happened to his sister and blames the cult for her estrangement from him and her death. He's also an alcoholic and possibly violent. The third story takes place in Norway, where a man, Carl, may or may not have killed his terminally ill wife. His daughter Astrid wants to find out if he did it or not and doesn't trust him. By the way, she looks a lot like Scarlett Johansson to me. Speaking of which, I don't know what to make of her son.
Where did she go?
Well, you see, Lilleven, Grandma, she died.
Am I going to die too?
Either they're going for a creepy child vibe intentionally, or they just don't know how children behave. For what it's worth, this apparently happened after I stopped watching.
Play with me! That's it. Go upstairs to your room. You're in timeout, young lady. No!
Getting a little ahead of myself again, but like I said, nothing groundbreaking. But I'll give this game, story, whatever, credit for getting me at least invested enough to want to follow it for a while. I'll admit, I was curious where they were going to go with it, and so I tried to keep up with it for a while, watching it live while I could, and otherwise watch the videos after the fact, because they do keep them on the website so you can watch them later if you miss the live showing. You also have some time to vote, so you don't have to do that live either. So the way this was supposed to go is that we all watch this play out and talk about it in the chat and vote on what happens. But the chat part, not the case anymore. As anyone with a fucking brain could have predicted, the very first time it aired, trolls flooded the chat with racial slurs and other things I'm not going to say out loud involving Pyramid Head and, well, you know this fandom's relationship with Pyramid Head. So they disabled chat except for emotes and stickers, though it looks like they've brought back emojis since then. So the experience now is that you get to watch about 5 minutes of story every night, while people constantly flood the chat with emotes and stickers, and it's really distracting and pointless. I think eventually the trolls will probably go away and maybe they'll eventually bring back the chat. but not having it really kills that whole community aspect that was a big selling point for this. Like, I don't feel like I'm watching it with other people so much as there's just annoying crap going on the side of the screen that I have to try to ignore. But there isn't just story in voting. After the story segment is done, you get 10 minutes of quick time events. And I am terrible at those. I got pretty good at the line of arrows, and I'm okay at rapidly clicking on the spot. Sometimes I don't catch it quickly enough. But the ones where it's just a circle, I'm honestly not sure what to do with that. Sometimes I just click it and it tells me I did the right thing. And sometimes I hold it and it tells me I did the right thing. And sometimes I get told I did the wrong thing in both of those situations. Maybe I'm just dumb, but like I said, I've never been good at quick time events. Also, I'll admit that I haven't been catching these daily, but the ones that I have caught, it's the same scenario. The first few times it was Rachel, and then I was happy when Toby showed up instead of Rachel. But the second game was the same scenario with the models swapped. What a letdown. Back to voting, you need what are called influence points to do that, and while you can buy those with real money, you don't have to. You can also earn them, but the game clearly wants your money. The way you can earn them is to just do little things on the site, like making an avatar, but oops, you sure don't get a lot of options using the defaults. I tried my best to make my avatar look like me, but the only choice for long hair is blonde, so I guess I'm blonde now. You can also earn points by solving puzzle games, but oops, you need a season pass to play all but one of them. You better hope that it's one you like. The only one I really like is this Bejeweled clone, because I just like Bejeweled that much. Actually, can I just be playing Bejeweled right now? And that's all I can think of to say about Silent Hill Ascension. To be honest, it feels too much like the days of having to catch a TV show when it's aired, and if you miss it, you were SOL. I mean, it's not exactly like that. It's more like someone recorded it for you, but if you miss a few and want to go back and watch them, it's like all of them are on the same tape and you have to rewind to the right spot. And I'm tired of this outdated metaphor. Look, I'll be honest, I've had family stuff going on and the holidays are coming up. I just don't have it in me to try to keep up with Silent Hill Ascension, especially when the stories aren't that great. I kind of want to know what happens, but not that badly. Yeah, they had me invested for a while, but not enough to keep me coming back every single day for 6 months. Yeah, this is supposed to run for 6 months.
You gotta be shitting me.
I seriously doubt that's gonna happen. Yeah, at this point it's probably been about a week since I last checked in on Ascension, and that's fine. There was some FOMO for a while, but I'm over it now. I just can't believe that with all of the Silent Hill games that were hyped last year, this is the one they started off with. I was more interested in Townfall than this, and that was just like 10 seconds of someone speaking through a radio. And I really hope that Konami doesn't take the lack of interest in Ascension as a sign that no one is interested in more Silent Hill games after all and cancels all but the 2 Silent Hill 2 projects, because I 100% believe that they are out of touch enough to do that. I think Ascension would have been fine as some little short-term thing that was free just to get us hyped up for future Silent Hill games, but as a full-on game on its own, with all that pay-to-win bullshit put in, I just think it's a huge misstep, to put it nicely. So if you're someone who gave Silent Hill Ascension a fair chance, what did you think of it? Did it seem kind of interesting at first, or were you just like never into it? Also, let me know if you like this brief video. I'll try to do more of these as info about more Silent Hill stuff comes out, assuming Konami doesn't cancel the rest of them. Finally, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and if you want to further support my channel, there's also Patreon. See you next time, and #FuckKonami.